Hello once again, everyone. Geezer Tony here. Yes, I forgot to turn on the mic for the first part of this video, so I am voiceover winging it. So today's video is going to be about short game, specifically how I practice it and how I make it effective and fun rather than just sitting in one place chipping balls mindlessly. So we're going to review just a little bit maybe of the technique, but not in detail. There are other videos for that. And we're going to talk about how the process that I go through to practice. So what I do is I scatter some balls around. I don't take my club and improve their lie. I just move them around to different places because you never get the same shot twice on the golf course. And so I want a little bit of variation, and we're going to be changing targets and clubs here for different situations as we move along through this practice session. So first, we're going to just briefly review the fundamentals of the setup for impact chipping motion. And of course, we want to set up with our arm in a direct line with the club shaft. We don't want it leaned back. We want it to be like an extension of our lead arm. Then we want to spin on our heels. We'll have our feet close together, ball in the middle. Spin on our heels, toes toward the target a little bit, and that gets our hips in the impact position so that we don't have to try to move them. When we go through, we want to keep the hands ahead and keep the shaft leaning back rather than that demonstration I just gave you of flipping the hands. So here's a down the line view of the same thing. Again, extension of the club is an extension of your lead arm from both directions, from face on and down the line. And we simply just rock the body and keep the hands ahead. It's a pretty simple move. So now we're going to go to that target straight ahead. I forget what the number is on it. And we're going to, this is a 56-degree sand wedge, and it's appropriate there that I could land the ball just on the green and it should roll out to the correct distance, which is, generally speaking, one part carry, one part roll. Now put a circle around there to help you see what I visualize when I play. This is what I see. I want to chip to the area and not just to that tiny little hole that seems so difficult. So if we can get in that area, that is a 6-foot circle, not a 3-foot circle. And if you can get it within that circle, you're 3 feet from the hole. So what we're doing here is we're saving pars, or if it's par 5, we may be making birdie. But we're just practicing the motion, practicing the technique of moving the club properly. The ball kind of takes care of itself. Then what I do is I actually, after I'm finished chipping, I go and I put out all 5 balls. I use 5, and I try to see the percentage of how many I can actually get up and down. So I go out and I putt them too. To me, it's more realistic than just chipping balls and from the same place over and over again to the same spot. To me, it's practical practice that I would be doing on the golf course, trying to make par. So we go over there now, we take the putter and we go over and we putt these out and see how many we can get up and down. And remember, they were from different positions, and they were not teed up or improved a lie. And you should sometimes give yourself a bad lie. So these 3 there were all within 8 inches. No need to even putt those. So let's see if we can get these last 2 in, or how many we can make out of the 5 that I chipped. And this putt was about 3.5 feet and a very slight break to the right. Got that one. This one's a little shorter, probably just inside 3 feet. And of course, it's the other one broke to the right. This one's going to go just a little left. See if we can get that last one. and we got it to cry in around the hole. So 5 for 5. I just saved 5 pars. So, in a realistic situation, if I played 9 holes and I missed 5 of the greens, I would have made par on all those 5 holes. Or let's say I missed all 9 greens. I still would have made 5 pars out of 9. So that's pretty good. So we'll move to a new position here now, and this was about twice as far as the one we just chipped. And again, I've got the ball scattered around. And so what I do when I'm farther away is I enlarge the target just a little bit. So that's probably more like a 7 or 8 foot circle around the hole. It's a big area if you really can visualize it. It's easy to chip your ball into. And that gets you within, say, 4 feet or 3 feet if you're anywhere in the circle. And if you're well inside the circle, you're even closer. So again, I'm working on my technique and I'm working on my visualization and just trying to see that ball roll up there into that target area. In my videos, I call it the kiddie pool, even on chips or long putts. That one there, I stubbed just a little bit. The grain got me. It's still in the circle, but it just was a little stubby. And when you have a good technique, the shots that you aren't that happy with still turn out pretty well, and that's why the technique is so good. So we've got a couple more here. We're going to roll them up and see if we can get them in the circle. I think so far they're all in there. Last one, I believe it. No, I've got 2 more. Oh, almost forgot my practice swing. So what I'm talking about, when I take these practice swings with every shot, I want them to be a useful rehearsal of what I'm about to do. I'm gathering information. How much swing do I need? How much resistance is the grass or the ground going to give me? It's not just a go up there and mindlessly swing your club back and forth with no reason. It's should be purposeful and useful when you make a practice swing. Okay, so we've got I think probably 2 there that I don't really need to putt. Let's see. Yeah, there's one, and the other one's probably a foot or so. So we're going to go ahead and tap those in, get them out of the way. Now well, this one's about 2 feet, so we're going to get that one. So now we're 3 out of 5 already. We got a couple of probably a 3-footer and a 2.5-footer, or 3.5 and a 2. I'm not sure, but they're important to make. So I take the same effort that I would on the golf course, and I really try to make them because it's, in my mind, it's important to me to get up and down. So got the longer one. Now we just got the one little bit shorter, very similar putt. And if we can get that one. Oh yeah, so we got them. Now we are 10 for 10 with strictly actually 10 different shots, although 5 were shorter and 5 were longer. They're in different places. So now we're going to go to an even longer hole target, and we're going to use a 9-iron instead of the 56. Now, I'm standing there, I'm telling you that, if you were in a game situation, if you were playing golf and you wanted to putt these balls, that's fine. I'm not telling you you have to chip, but we're talking about chipping, so we're going to use the 9. And generally speaking, with a 9, it's 1 part carry, 3 parts roll, and we've got some left break on this chip, so even larger area I've circled down there. This is what I see, and when I look at it in my mind, I may see, some days I see that entire area as yellow or white. Then sometimes I just see the line of circle, the line goes around and makes a circle. It depends on how my brain's working that day, but I literally visualize that area and I roll the ball into it. And it gets pretty easy if you can learn to do that. It just, it's a mental thing that helps you take some of the indecisiveness out. Most of the people that I see teach or play golf with that don't chip well, they don't have a good idea of what they're trying to do. They seem indecisive and they take this itsy bitsy little short backswing and then kind of punch at it because they're afraid some disaster is going to happen. You just have to be free and loose. Again, I'm showing how to set up, and you go through and you just keep the hands ahead and keep that angle from your lead arm and the club as you go through the ball. That's just a very simple thing to do. Evidently edited that out by mistake, but there are the five balls, and I'm not going to bother to put those out. They were all within 3 feet or less.
So here we have about a 35 yard pitch shot to that flag, and the landing area is a little tight. I don't think we're going to be able to hit this one with a standard square face and stop it in time and land it on the green. So I'm going to manipulate the club face just a bit to hit a higher shot. But the technique is the same. We're just going to have to, we take the club face, we open it slightly like this, then we take our grip. And of course now the ball would go to the right. So we're just going to move around and then swing in line with our feet, not towards the target where the club face is. We're just going to swing left and let the ball go right. That gives us a little extra height. Or if you have a 60, that'll work. I don't carry a 60. Other than that, the technique is the same. The biggest problem I see with people on this shot is they're afraid to take enough backswing. So they take this little small backswing and they're afraid of disaster. And their mind says, their subconscious mind says, oh, we're not going to be able to get it there. I need to really accelerate. And they'll chub it, blade it, whatever. So with this shot, you just got to take a long, lazy feeling backswing, come through correctly, and just let the club swing freely. So we're going to keep the hands ahead. Also, I enlarge my target area, the part that I visualize. It's probably more like a 10-foot circle, which will get me within 5 feet from here, and I'm pretty happy with that. So if you can see that, there is a theory that aim small, miss small, which I guess works for some people. But for me, it tenses me up and it makes it too hard. I like to see this big, beautiful area that anywhere in there is good enough that works. And it's just relaxes me and I can do it. So I see a big 10-foot circle around that hole anywhere, and I just get it anywhere in that hole using the good technique. That one's a little on borderline, but it's not terrible. One more time. Swing in line with your feet. There. These balls are breaking to the right. We got to play that. Also, when you do this, practice out of some less than perfect lies. I've got this ball sitting in a little bit of a hole. I know you can't see it. You saw it rock in there. Let's do another one. There's a little depression right there. And learn that it doesn't really change anything if you don't let it psych you out. So these balls are sitting down a little bit. I'm going to hit them the exact same way. Even hit even a better shot out of the hole than I did off the ground. One more time. It doesn't affect anything. Just don't let it psych you out. That one came out a little lower, but it ran better. Those were the two best I hit out of those 10, or out of those 5. So now we're going to go ahead and putt these. I only have one that I'm sure of. The rest of them are 3 to 5 feet, which are good from where we were. You don't expect to get 5 out of 5 from 30, 35 yards, but maybe I can get 3 or 4 if I putt well. This one looks like about 3 feet inside right. This one's about 2.5 feet, almost the same putt. We're 3 out of 5 already. I'm going to put the longer one first. That one's about 4, maybe 4.5 feet. I'm going to play this one inside left. Last one. About 6 inches closer, also inside left. Oh, we got a crier, but that's 5 out of 5. So now I want to show you one specialty shot, and then I think we'll call it a day here. I wanted to show you this one specialty shot, short game shot before we go. We're about, again, probably about 25 yards from the hole. We're severely downhill. You may not see it on camera, but we're pretty downhill. I would say the slope is about that much downhill. And we don't have a lot of room to land the ball. Yeah, you could bounce it. Now, I don't know if you can, the camera can show you. We're late in the year and the Bermuda grass is not what it used to be, thick-wise and height-wise, but it's still here. And I have tapped all these balls down into it as much as I can, so they're all down. Camera probably looks pretty good, but they're kind of buried. And I'm gonna show you how to hit this shot. So what we're gonna do again is we're gonna turn the club, open the face, take the grip. We are going to stand in the direction so that the club face is pointed at the hole, and we're going to swing in the direction of where our body is. Here's the key. We're not going to hit the ball. We're going to hit the ground behind the ball on purpose, and that ball will pop right up. Even though it's sitting way down, that ball will pop up and go on the green. See how high that went? This is a very steep hill, and again, I've tapped these balls down. They're sitting down. So how is this happening? That was a little wimpy, but it still got there. What's happening is the club is hitting the ground behind the ball, and it's sliding across the ground. So it makes it easy to hit this ball. This one's even buried worse. So let's see if I can see if I can put a little more swing on this one. Yeah. It's a pretty easy shot. You know, most golf shots are pretty easy once you understand what happens and the technique of it. They're not hard. Just hit down behind the ball on the ground. One more time. So if I were to be hitting in this direction, it would look like this, and I'm hitting the ground right here where my club is and letting the club slide under the ball. I'm not hitting the ball. I'm missing it on purpose, hitting behind it and continue the swing. It comes right out. So anyway, when you get shots like this, you need to practice these when you have time so that when you do get this shot, you can perform it and you know what to do. You're not guessing, you're not scared, afraid you're gonna chili dip it or scream it over the green. You need to be familiar with what you're doing. So I hope you can get out and practice some of this stuff. Make it fun, make a game out of it. I didn't putt those, but I'm pretty sure I could get 2 of those 5 up and down, and maybe a third if I putt well. So out of a buried lie, that's pretty good. So anyway, I hope this video helps you score better and have more fun playing your game. And for now, this is Geezer Tony signing off. Till next time.